I can find why your revenue stopped, why your show rates dropped 10, 15% in under a couple minutes, realistically. And this is exactly how you can too, as well. And so, what's up, guys? I am RJ. If you haven't seen me before, I'm going to break down exactly how the bottleneck analysis framework that I use every single day on our clients and for my own organization. And at the end, or in the middle of the video, you can go down below and get this exact analyzer for yourself and use it for free. Okay, and so let's get right into it. Right, and so the Revenue bottleneck analysis framework. This might look familiar, it might look like your own data. Well, I've used it in a separate video. This is all the levers of a fitness coach with a $3,000 offer, right? All these are levers, okay? And each one of these levers stops or lets the flow continue on. Like, think of flow as like leads and people you want to sell, right? And give your services to, okay? And so every number in this funnel has the lever, okay? Each one controls the flow, the efforts, and the following steps inside your own funnel. Okay, more specifically, your cost per lead is controlled by your creatives and your niche. This is all, cost per click, your CPMs, your click-through rate, stuff like that are all your creatives, okay? Your book-through rate or your book rate is controlled by your VSL, landing page, and application, okay? If your landing page sucks, no one's gonna book. If your VSL doesn't do its job, no one's gonna book, okay? If your VSL's an hour long, depending on who you're targeting, no one's gonna book, right? Your show rate is controlled by your confirmation page and your follow-up system and your sales process. Now, this is huge. A lot of you guys have bad show rates, and you want to blame your closers. You want to fix the scripts. You want to fix your closers. You want to fire closers. You want to hire more. Your setters aren't doing their job, right? It's more than that. In fact, like, it's not even your closer's fault. It's, more so it's like you don't know what you're doing and not implementing the right system in place to increase show rates, because show rates increasing is one of the easier bottlenecks to actually fix, right? And so there's a few things you can actually do, and I have entire videos on this already, like nurturing, building trust with the prospect from your closer, like them contacting them specifically the night before, sending selfie video, the day of, giving trust assets away, hammering them, or not spamming them, but putting as much content as physically possible in front of your prospects before you even talk to them and hop on these calls. That's a couple ways of increasing show rates, okay? Your close rate is controlled by how you run the call. Now, this is where your sales process comes in, right? Now, the sales process is in depth about the VSL. It's in your entire funnel, affects your sales process too, okay? Your application VSL, confirmation page, how you talk to the prospects. I could go on, right? But this is the entire game, right? Each one of these are levers. One lever breaks, stops the next one from flowing. You got to fix that lever in order to, ideally make money in your revenue. So let's do this live. Let's give you a couple examples, okay? So we're going to go over a VSL call funnel right now. So this is just an example. We do have, trading coaches, but this is not live data, okay? So this is not real. This is all made up, okay? So this is a full 15K a month ad spend trading coach, right? Stage by stage, healthy benchmarks. These are very, very reasonable, okay? So, don't judge these numbers and then go look at yours, right? You can take some benchmarks for cold conversion, look it up in your niche, right? And, see, what the comparisons are, what you can, fix to look better like these numbers, or just look in general. Like, we're going to go over an actual bottleneck analysis very soon, okay, after we go over this. So we have all the data here, okay? So, give you some bottlenecks, give you some, the data here and the benchmarks, okay, for the conversions, okay? And so stage by stage benchmarks, right? So we have the ads to the click, right? This is all about your messaging, right? And so, like, healthy click-through rates are, 2% and above, right? If you're like pretty profitable and you have like 1.5 and above, like, that's decent, right? Ideally you want over 2%, okay? And like cost per clicks for this funnel was 2.36, under $2.50 is really ideal, right? And so, like, a leak signal, or like one of your bottlenecks could be click-through rates under 2%, under 1%, right? And cost per click climbing, right? Or your CPMs are really high, right? You have bad creatives, you need new messaging, new creatives, just something better, right? That are better performing, okay? So number 2, VSL page and videos, okay? So this example gives us a 4-minute long VSL video, right? It's pretty short, so you're gonna have a lot of watch time, right? Regardless, just because of length, right? And so you need to express how important the length is, right? And so like if you put a 50-minute video, you're gonna get less watch time overall, right? Unless it's damn good, right? Unless you have like a movie on a VSO and whatever, right? But people who clicked on the ad itself, the people who landed is a 95 percentile for this funnel, okay? And the play rate from those people who landed was at 68%. It's pretty good, okay? It's just on the bottom of what's healthy. Okay, so cost per VSL view, you were paying $3.47 for somebody to go on your funnel and watch your VSL video. Okay, it's pretty good as well, right? So watch times, it's going to be pretty good, damn good anyway, because it's a 4-minute long video, like 82, 62, and 44 for 25%, 50%, and 75%, right? And completion is 20%, 22% of all people, so 18% is minimal, right? And for the third or fourth time, it's going to be higher because it's a 4-minute long video, right? And so like leak signal, most cold VSL lose 15 to 25% in the first 30 seconds, right? Weak hooks, just bad messaging or bad offer explanations, or you include price, which is totally up to you. It does better with rich and worse with like poorer demographics because they're more skeptical. Completion below 18%, the VSL just isn't really doing its job, right? And you want something higher. Okay, higher the better, obviously. Okay, so let's go into the application and qualifications, right? So people who clicked apply now or started the applications was 687, 72% of completers. Okay, so applications submitted was 531, right? So then we have qualified for a call. Out of those 531 people, actually around 400 qualified, right? And so like how are you qualifying them in the application? Well, you have certain questions, right? If you want, let's go back on this example. Okay, so let's go. You have a fitness offer, you're a fitness coach, you charge $3,000 a month, and you don't want anybody making under 100K a year going and booking a call. Okay, so you have the income, right? So you have 100 with 0 to 100K a year, 100 to 200, 200 to 300, or anything over 300 is fine, right? So that option for that 0 to 100K would be to send people somewhere else, right? Whether you want to upsell or downsell them, it'll probably be a downsell because they can't afford realistically or probably can't afford your services at the moment, and you just don't want them to go through your funnel and book a call, right? Which is conditioning your pixel and also increasing your odds of getting revenue from the closes that do come through, right? And so going forward, the scheduling and show, okay, this is number 4. This is the last one, right? Obviously you have your closes and shit like that, but for booking rate, 88% of people actually booked, that were filling out the application. It's pretty good, right? Confirmation emails, that first one, that when they book the call, they get an email confirmation. 75% of people did that. It's pretty good as well. Show rates is 70%, right? And it's so if you have anything less than 60%, I would say you can multitask, increasing your show rates and then increasing whatever the other bottleneck is. It's it's that simple, right? And so do some more research, hit us up. If you want us to fix it for you, just go down below and book a call. We'll talk, we'll give you a full audit, we'll say what we'll actually do for you, okay? And then we'll give you the roadmap steps going forward. Like a pre-call sequence, or video messages from you, the owner, before the call, or from your closers. Whoa. Don't let them be lazy. Don't be lazy yourself. Do the work, right? If you want to make them more revenue, just do the work, right? It's very, very simple. It takes 5 minutes of your time, So, this is 1 call close statistics, right? And 2 call close statistics. You just have to track a little bit more if you have 2 call closes, right? And for 2 call closes, they usually do better because you have more people talking to setters rather than just going straight to a closer, and there's more nurturing, more answers, questions answered, right? And the expectations are probably better going into that second call, right? So where the funnel usually breaks, so kind of like how I was explaining the levers, right? And these are levels inside the funnel itself and where it breaks, right? And so like add a VSL. If your click-through rates, CPMs, cost per click are all bad, make new creatives, do the messaging, right? VSL application, right? If you have low completions, you aren't getting very many applications filled out, or not a lot of people are watching the actual video. Just record a new VSL, right? See where people are falling off. See where people, are stop watching, if they're even watching the full duration. You know what I mean? So just look in your softwares that you use, right? So application to booking, right? So how many people actually book from their applications? Okay, so booking the show, right? So how many people actually show up to the calls? Okay, so you have weak pre-call sequences, never intended to show up. People just ghost you. You just send calendar reminders. You have a setter contact them once and be like, okay, come to our call. Yeah, that all that's not gonna work, right? Especially nowadays. Okay, so the show to close, right? So how many people do you actually close that are showing up, right? Your bad framing, unclear offer, wrong qualification, right? So wrong qualification is just a entire funnel issue, right? Whether it's in your messaging in the ads is probable, but it could be also like you're not qualifying in your VSL, you're not qualifying at all in your application, right? Or the setter's just not doing their job, right? And so you got to figure that out with data, okay? And you got to test certain things, right? So it's a little bit of a hassle to, with certain levers, right? Um, Depending on which one is broken, it's more work or less work. Like I said, like show rates, you just implement a system that works, and usually it's pretty good, but it depends if you're good at implementing that system, right? You can't just send people 30 emails before their calls and expect people to show up, right? But there are certain ways of going around it and presenting information in front of somebody to make them want to come onto your call, right? And so, track everything, right? Everything, you know, every single day. Don't change anything every single day, right? And you're gonna change it, within reason, depending on your ad spend and how fast you're getting results in the ads manager, right? And so we'll go over this live, and this is the exact funnel bottleneck analyzer that you can get. So go down below, you'll see a link to my Instagram, right? I have it in the pinned video on my Instagram. Just DM me or comment a word that's provided in that video, right? And you'll get it sent to you, or just go in the description below. There'll be a link there to get this, right? And so this is exactly, a direct duplicate of the bottleneck analyzer that I use every single day, right? And so like for CPMs, let's do a live audit, right? And so let's make up a client. Okay, let's just say you're a coach, right? And you're running ads, right? You have pretty good CPMs. You have $12.50 CPMs, right? You have a pretty good VSL rate. Like your landing page is sick, okay? So 85%, right? And so let's just say your ads are ripping, right? So 2.5%. Okay, so VSL completion, let's just say it's a little less than good, right? Let's just say 32%. Okay, so application rate, 26% and up. Let's just say you're just on the brink, right? You're at 27%, but your call show rates are at 45%, and your close rates are 17%. Okay, and then cash listed price. Also, if you are wondering on how to calculate any of this and where to find this stuff, like how much you banked up front versus like finance. So like how many PIFs or paid in fulls have you gotten? So if you charge $10,000 for 3 months, or it's $4K every single month, how many people are going for the $10,000 PIF, right? If you didn't know, which you probably did, you should, right? And so 82% and above is paid in full, or you're just collecting full cash, right? You're not financing anybody. So let's just say you're getting 90% of people aren't financing, so which is pretty damn good, right? And so your ROAS, let's just say it's the standard, right? Let's just say you have a pretty good ROAS, right? And so let's go down below and see what our bottleneck actually is. So this is going to do it for you. Yeah, you don't really have to know how to actually do it. So it's kind of cheating, but you need to know how to fix it. That's the thing. Like if your close rate isn't great, right? And so like your show rate can be increased a little bit here. 45% is not good at all. So if you didn't increase your show rate, or if you doubled your show rate, you would double your sales, which would double your revenue. So think in twos, right? And so like this also will tell you down here. So like this would just fix your close rate, right? That's the highest leverage thing that you could. That's what I was saying, the doubles game, right? Fixing close rate to benchmark, using the same ad spend. And like a lot of people just think like, oh, I need to put more ad spend into my ads and I'll get more sales. Yes, but like what are you doing with a 17% close rate? Right? With the close rate under the industry average, like why are you not attacking that first? Right? And so like if you get this up to, let's just say like 25%, right? Just a little increase, right? It changes everything, right? You have to increase your show rate now, right? And that's what I was saying before. Like you could increase the show rates and like before you increase the close rates, right? You will get more sales indirectly, okay? Because that's one lever, right? If you change this one lever, it's gonna help the next lever do better, right? Or do worse. It's just gonna pop up another problem, or it's gonna benefit because you fix the solution, right? I hope that hits home. Okay, so this is like pretty in depth here. Okay, so let's do one more. And so let's just say your CPMs. I mean, this is pretty easy. Let's just say your CPMs are pretty high. So let's just say that, and you have decent click through rate, right? It's going to be a little bit higher than last time, right? And so your VSO play rate is going to be low. It's going to be a little lower. So it's going to 59%, right? And VSO to completion, it's going to be like, of the people who are watching, it's going to be, they watch it in full, right? Or they're pretty damn close. Let's just say 50% of people are actually completing it, and let's just say another 50% are going to actually apply, right? And from the apply books, this is based on how hard your friction is, okay? And so like good is 75%. So you're wanting only qualified people in this, right? Only the rawest qualified people, right? You don't really have a setter to do anything like this. So let's just say another 40% are actually booking the call because you're sending everyone else somewhere else, right? And so call show rate is, this is good, right? You have good show ups. People actually want to come on the call, maybe because you have so much friction, right? Your close rate, this is solid 30%, okay? And cash, but you are having to finance a lot of people, right? You're doing a lot of friction, have really good show ups, but not a lot of people are giving you painfuls or giving you the regular price, right? And let's just say your ROAS stays the same, okay? And so let's analyze this. So it's going to tell you like application to book is your bottleneck, right? And it's pretty clear here, okay? It's pretty clear, right? And so if you fix this, your show rate's going to increase because your CPMs are also too high. This is creative diversity problem. Algorithm needs more, right? And so like you get people through. This also might be like a way you need to change your ad creatives, right? Too. So appointment to book. So people who are applying are actually booking. So you go ahead. You don't change two things at a time, right? So if your CPMs are this high, right? One thing I would do first. Okay, you got proof of concept, right? And you're not really collecting a lot of cash up front either on the close calls. Okay, so also like you're having a lot of friction. Okay, so something's not working in your messaging, or you have too much friction on your application, right? And you're sending way too many people off the application to either not book, right? Or they're just clicking off, right? And so it is probably a messaging issue in your ads, right? And so those kind of correlate, okay? So if you have a lot of qualified leads come through and you don't have a lot of friction, or even if you have a lot of friction, but not a lot of people are booking, something isn't clicking to them, right? And so like if your CPMs are high, do a good click-through rate, but don't just look at this. You have to look at everything. CPMs, right? It tells you what it is, tells you how to look at it, and secondary issues, right? It tells you what to fix next, okay? But don't use this to be like, oh, like I'm just gonna go after this, right? I'm just gonna follow this, right? You could, but like, let's just say, right? You fix your CPMs, right? They go down, okay? They go down. You add like 10, 20, 30 more creatives, and they actually go down to like $17, right? And so your click-through rate goes down as well, but it's very reasonable, right? So let's just do 2.3, and nothing else changes, right? Except for your application to book rate. So that goes up, right? Because you change your messaging, it goes to 60%. Okay, and it's actually going to tell you what's next, right? And so like, it's going to change. These are all going to change, right? You fix one problem, another problem is going to pop up anyway, right? And then when you don't really have many problems to go after, that's when you just pour money on ads. You just pour it, right? Because you're at 4x ROAS, right? Let's just say let's get a perfect funnel here, right? So you have it's the VSO play rate, right? So you have a pretty damn good one. So you fix that, and it's still the application to book rate, right? But you're still at a 4x, right? Even at a 4x, you're pretty damn good. So you can increase ad spend, and then you're going to fix this bottleneck again, right? You're going to have to realize why. It's not the messaging this time. It's not the messaging because you have good CPMs, right? If you have good CPMs, good VSO play rate, the completion rate is pretty good. Application rate is pretty good. Yeah, the appointment or the application to book rate is pretty good. But not great, right? It's not great. Okay, so you need to fix that. Okay, and so, I digress a little bit. So it comes with a webinar one as well and direct call method, which isn't as popular nowadays. So VSL webinar. So I hope you enjoyed this. I have a webinar that we could go over as well, but I think most of you guys are going to be running call funnels. You got the bottleneck analyzer anyway for free. It's in the description. And if you are looking to get somebody to work on your business, one-on-one, growth partner, go down below. I would love to talk to you and give you a full in-depth audit, really discuss with you what's going on in your business, what's going wrong with it, really where you truly want to grow to that you've been trying so hard to grow to for a while now, right? And so whether you hired another person, you're running ads yourself, or you're not really running ads but wanting to and scaling past 100K, 200K a month, go down below and I'll be happy to talk with you. I will see you in the next one.